Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on the examples of diglossia. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would have an understanding of the concept with the help of certain examples from different sociolinguistic scenarios. Well, my dear students, diglossia, that is the use of the high and low varieties for different functions taken from the same language. This is a sociolinguistic phenomenon that occurs in various societies. The high variety in various societies can be in varied forms. For example, the high variety may be an older stage of the same language as in medieval Europe, where Latin language remained in formal use even as the colloquial speech diverged and it had different forms and shapes. The formal written standard Latin language, it retained its situation, it retained its form and its style. On the other hand, the high variety may be an unrelated language or a distinct yet closely related in the present day dialects. So, all of these possibilities exist. The second point that we prove through these examples is that the phenomenon of diglossia has always been taking place in the world. It is not something new. I also hope and expect that you already are familiar with the example of Saudi Arabia, where Arabic speech community has this diglossia where the low variety of Arabic is used and for the informal spoken purposes of use at the street or with the family or at homes, whereas the high variety is used for highly academic and formal purposes. It is learned through education and it is used for all the literary purposes as well as the official purposes. Another example of, where a distinct yet closely related variety, present day dialect existing in a setup as high and low varieties coexistence is concerned, I would give you the example of standard German language that is existing or coexisting with the low variety of German language that is used for, everyday purposes, when it comes to the functional use. Another interesting example is of Chinese language. The Mandarin variety is the official and literary standard that is used, whereas the local varieties of Chinese language are used for everyday communication and for the informal purposes of use in everyday life. There is yet another example. For example, the literary catharsis that is used versus spoken demotic Greek language. This spoken demotic Greek language is the lower variety as compared to the other variety that is very high and very formal. Another example is of literary Tamil versus spoken Tamil. The literary Tamil is the high variety, spoken Tamil is the informal low variety. Another example is of Indonesian language with its Baku and Gaul forms that are respectively used for high and low variety functions. The last example that I would like to share with you is of the Welsh language, the literary form of the Welsh language and the spoken informal form of Welsh language. They are respectively the high and low varieties that are used in the same society for performing two different sets of functions. Thus, I hope through these examples of diglossia from all across the world, I hope you have understood the concept and you have understood how in certain communities, two or more than two varieties of language are used to perform different kinds of functions.